There's a saying that people can live 40 days without food, about 4 days without water, only about 4 minutes without air, but they can't make it 4 seconds without hope. I've never met anyone that didn't need hope. Hope is an amazingly powerful thing, but unless it's attached to something, unless there's an object of our hope, it's really not worth much. It's just wishful thinking if there's no object of our hope. The amazing news is that we do have someone to attach our hope to. There is an object of our hope. Psalm 33, 20 through 22 says, "We put our hope in the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. Let your unfailing love, Lord, surround us as we put our hope in you alone." So that's an amazing thing. God wants us to put our hope in him. He is our hope alone. We can trust in him. He's our help. He's our protection. We can rest in the unfailing love that God has for us. Now, as wonderful as that is, we cannot put our hope in God if we've already put our hope in other things. And as women, I think that we often misplace our hope. We put our hope in our spouses, in the success of our children, in our appearance, in our ability to control things, even in good works. So how do we practically place our hope in God instead of these other things? I think the first thing that we need to do is to call to mind what God is like. We need to know him. We need to know what he's like. And the great thing is that he wants to be known by us. So instead of calling to mind the unfairness, our helplessness, our anger, we call to mind the qualities of God and what he is like. We remember that he is a loving and compassionate and faithful God who has good plans for our lives. That will motivate us to put our hope in him. However, we can't call to mind what God is like if we don't know what he's like. The best way to get to know someone is to spend time with them. The best way to get to know God is to spend time in his word, in the Bible. So in order to place our hope in God, we need to be spending time in his word every day. Life can be difficult and painful. Trials can be hard and they can be long. We need to have other people in our lives that we can walk through these times with in order to place our hope in the right place. And that's why God instructs us to be in community with other believers so that we can endure the difficult times that we face. You know, one of the great benefits of placing our hope in God is that he's going to enable us to share that same hope with others. He's going to allow us to influence other generations for him. We all have limitations. We can't control the challenges that people will face. We can't keep loved ones from getting sick. We can't decide who our kids should marry. We can't even keep them from being rejected on the playground or cut from the team. We do have something else to offer them, though. We can offer them an example of a very flawed life, but one that has put their hope in a very real God who loves them. On our own, none of us have much to offer. We're all broken and sinful people, yet God has chosen and he will empower us to influence the next generation for him. Because we have the answer that every generation needs, and that's a relationship with him. That's the great and life-changing hope that we have to offer.